everybody. Welcome. And thank you for listening to this episode of Marriage Therapy Radio. My name is Zach. I'm here with Laura. I'm no longer sick, although I definitely still am sick in this episode. Laura and I had dinner with our mutual friend the other day, and he said, "Oh my gosh, you sounded terrible on that core negative image episode." And I said, "Well, buckle up because it's worse in this one." My brain just was not firing on all the cylinders, but Laura was passionate about the topic. And I think it's actually a good one, talking about coping mechanisms. What strategies do you rely on when you're kind of freaking out and not quite sure what to do with yourself or your partner? What are your go-to strategies and what are the ways around some of those strategies? I have some, she has some, and we talk about them today. But before we get started, I want you to do me a favor. Go to Facebook and type in the Sunday Service, Ellensburg Community Radio. My buddy Dave runs the Sunday morning show there. It's fantastic. I love it. I've listened to it 2 weeks in a row now. Just about 2 hours of super chill music. Dave has a deep understanding of especially like kind of mellow acoustic music. If that's your jam, again, please go to Facebook, go to the Sunday Service, Ellensburg Community Radio, and give them a like. I want to see the power of Marriage Therapy Radio. Do we have the ability to move their likes in a significant direction? And more importantly, listen to Ellensburg Community Radio. It's 9 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday morning. If you go to the Facebook page and like it, you'll get all kinds of information about how to listen on your smart device or on your computer. The playlists are generally there. The playlists from the last couple weeks are there. And I just think it's super cool. I want to support my friend Dave. I want you to support my friend Dave. And also I want you to check out this music. Like I said, I just loved it and it made me really happy. I hope you'll enjoy this episode. Again, this is about coping mechanisms. I am still sick during the recording of this episode, but we're back to normal here pretty soon. We've got a couple of very cool interviews coming up, one next week that I think you'll really enjoy. And then we got to talk to Stan Tatkin, who is one of those therapists in the couples therapy community that both of us really love and admire. He was fascinating. That's coming up later in June. And for now, I hope this is a very cool conversation. Stick around.
I thought it was funny that I got up, I had to blow my nose, I was coughing stuff up. But if anybody was to be like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'd be like, "Great, awesome." But I have a feeling that if you were doing the same thing, it would be like, "I'm dying."
Yeah, I'm still dying.
You're still dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but just so everybody's not worried that I've been sick for 3 weeks.
Yeah, we're recording on the same day.
Because Laura made me. She said, "I'm going to make you do another one today."
It's true.
Like, that's very generous and kind. Thank you so much. I couldn't use a nap at all.
It's true. You'll get there.
We got Abby home. Abby came home yesterday.
She's done with school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it the end of her sophomore, junior year?
Yeah. Halfway there.
Sophomore year.
Halfway through college.
Holy moly.
I know, right?
Oh, that's why I couldn't stay at your house. I asked if I could stay at your house and you're like, "Well, we actually have all of our kids home now. So there's no place for you to stay
at my house. You said, "I think it's best if I stay at your house." And I said, "Great. It'll be a little tight." And you're like, "No, I'm going to stay at my parents." I was like, "We could stay here." You go, "Nope, I'm going to do this other thing." And then I said, "Well, we could do this." "Well, it's really important for you to hang out with my parents." I go, "Then why did you start this conversation? Why don't you just tell me what you're going to do and I will do that."
I'm going to stay at my parents' house. How about that?
Yes, I know.
Yes.
That's where we landed.
I actually don't know how I'm going to survive. I'm going to get a real baddie. I'm actually planning on my coping mechanisms popping out. And because I'm kind of getting anxious. I'm planning to be anxious. That's what I'm planning to do.
I love that's my favorite part.
The next few months. And I can tell you that the trip to Germany for you and I will probably not be super pleasant for you.
Good. Maybe I'll change my seat.
I just want to warn you that I am planning. That is, the next few months are going to be absolutely bonkers. So I teach this weekend. I teach next weekend.
Yes.
I do the Ironman.
Yes.
I go to Germany. They're all like within 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Go to Germany, come home, get my kid, go back to Europe.
Yeah.
Then I'm not going to complain because I'm going to have 2 weeks off.
You should just stay in Europe and then somebody can just like ship Holden,
if there was a kennel situation for my child, that would have been a lot easier for me. Yeah. But alas, I am a mother and humane. So there will be no shipping.
Yeah.
And then we have to move out of our house, like almost immediately from getting back so that we can like move out, not just move out, but I mean like all of our furniture needs to go into a pod.
I didn't realize this.
It's a little bonker balls. All of that needs to happen before July. So in the next month and a half, this is what my life is going to look like. And
why are you going to ruin my trip to Germany?
Because I'm planning on being anxious.
Oh, I'm planning on buying new headphones.
I can already tell you, I don't know if anybody else does this, but when I get anxious, I pick at my cuticles, and I can already tell you that I'm going to plan ahead. I'm going to get my nails done, because if I get my nails done, I won't pick at my cuticles, or maybe I will. Maybe it'll be a whole nother level of anxiety. We'll just see. It actually makes me anxious just talking about this right now.
Cool.
Hey friends, I will continue to sing the praises of my sheet set by Cozy Earth. The warmth of spring just hit my neck of the woods, which normally means that I roll around uncomfortably hot, but not this year. Oh no, I am rolling in the luxury of my satiny Cozy Earth sheet set. These sheets are fabulous. They are temperature regulating for my warm nights this summer. They keep me cool and comfy. I'm also a huge fan of the 10-year warranty that all products by Cozy Earth come with. Why? Because I am not gentle with my linens or really anything in my life, and I love that I don't have to sacrifice luxury for comfort and durability. I am also buying from a company who has done their homework and diligence in responsibly sourcing viscose from bamboo. It's a guilt-free purchase for me. Check out Cozy Earth's bedding, loungewear, bath products by visiting their website. Cozy Earth has provided an exclusive offer for my listeners today, 35% off site-wide when you use the code MTR. Visit Cozy Earth. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I'm talking about coping mechanisms, and I'm kind of giving you a heads up because I would like for us to cooperate.
Okay.
And I think I might end up needing your support a little bit.
No, look at you.
That's so sweet.
Okay.
So when I get really anxious, like I'm
is this what we're talking about today? Is this what,
this is happening. Yeah. I'm kind of modeling a little bit of what I've been doing in my office, which is we all have coping mechanisms. My coping mechanism is that when I start to feel like world is getting out of control, my world, my environment, I get anxious. And when I get anxious, my way of dealing with it is to overfunction and to start to plan, like over plan, and to over communicate and to try and take over your life as well in your planning and tell you what to do. So I might have really great plans and ideas for you, just so you know about
like the royal you, like what, capital YOU, or like you, me?
You, Zach Brittle.
Oh.
Yeah. So my husband pointed out the other day, what were we doing? I was sitting down with my laptop and he came out of his office. We both work from home, as you know. The meeting ground in the middle it's like you're fair game. If you come into the kitchen or the living room and you're out of your office, it's fair game of like, oh, we're partners again. Otherwise, we're still in our offices. It's work day. So he comes out and I have my laptop in front of me, clearly feeling anxious. I have like my 4 calendars spread out and I'm starting to micromanage my life, which is my way of regaining some sense of control. And I start asking him all the questions. I have like a running list of all the things in life that are undone that need to be tied up in pretty little bows, because that'll make me feel better in that moment. And so I start peppering him with all of these like, hey, what are you doing about this? And have we taken care of that? And did you get the registration figured out? And by the way, I think this bill needs to be paid. And he took a big, deep breath. And this is how he responded. This is why I just adore my husband. He goes, are you feeling anxious right now? And I was like, yes, I am. And he says, is this you whirling? That's what we call it. And I said, oh, that is me whirling. I'm whirling right now, aren't I? And he said, you're trying to get some control over your environment. And I was like, I sure am. And he said, I would love to do this with you, but I'm overwhelmed with work right now. And I need to go back in my office. And he walked away. This is why Ryan Heck is really, truly the reason why we're still married. He is amazing, but I'm not telling this to you just to tell you how amazing my husband is. I think it's an important skill in general for partners to have, which is to get really, really clear about what their coping mechanism is so that their partner can spot it and can recognize when you're in pain.
Mhm.
So I'm curious for you. This is an open question to Zach Brittle.
Mhm.
What is your coping mechanism? What would I be able to spot when something for you, I say like it's a coping mechanism when you're in pain, and that pain could be anxiety, it could be depression, it could be anger, it could be whatever. But what is it that you do?
I don't know, dude. I think Rebecca has the answer to that question better than I do. I think she can spot it the way Ryan can spot it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't even know. Like she's a better barometer for me that I'm spinning out than I think I definitely have like physical tells about my kind of my face or my posture or my aura. But I don't actually know.
When you said aura, it made me think of my Warrior song.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. By the way, if you haven't listened to Laura's Warrior song,
that's right.
It's rising up the charts on Spotify. You can Google Big Warrior.
Big Warrior. Laura.
Spotify.
That's
and
right.
listen to Laura's Pump Up Triathlon song that we made her with Songfinch.
That's right. Okay, well, hold on. So just tell me then, what is your coping mechanism? Because and I'm not talking about, when I say coping skill, a lot of people assume that I'm talking about like meditation and I exercise, but coping mechanisms can also be the word that my client used, like maladaptive. It could be drinking. It could be like micromanaging. It could be whatever, like numbing out.
A phrase that I've been learning more about is misery stabilizer. Like, is that what you're talking about? Like, what's your misery stabilizer? The thing that when you're like frustrated or whatever, like you go to over functioning. Yep. I probably go to the opposite direction, more like paralysis or like vegging out or numbing out. Which definitely for sure I used to do with alcohol all the time. And now maybe it's more like TV or just, I want to take a nap or something.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where, like if
it's a really good question though. I like the question. I'm sorry I don't have a better answer for you. Like I'm going to be a little bit distracted by the fact that I'm thinking about if I can come up with a better answer for you. But
So what I was working with clients this week on doing was, number one, acknowledging. I think it's really easy for us to get really angry and frustrated with the coping mechanism if it's a maladaptive one, if it's one that your partner doesn't care for. So like, just as an example, I have multiple examples now that I'm talking about it. One client who gets overwhelmed with life, with work, right? The misery, and the stabilizer is completely numbs out and disconnects. It just like gets overwhelmed and he withdraws from his partner. And that's a coping skill that he has. He goes into his room. He, might be on his phone. He might be watching a show, but whatever it is, he needs personal space. That is uncomfortable for his partner who might have some abandonment stuff. And so like wants to be near him. But when he pulls away, it doesn't feel good. So we talk about him like, wow, how amazing is it that he can recognize when he needs to pull out and withdraw? How awesome is it that this skill at some point was probably really functional? Probably from childhood. Like we develop some of these like coping mechanisms in childhood where it gets us through. And I think it's important for us to switch, sort of change the lens and reframe that this coping mechanism is a gift. It keeps you moving. It helps you get through the misery. And unfortunately, too often it's the pain that our partner's experiencing in the process. Like it's really annoying when I micromanage. It's really frustrating for my husband when I go into overdrive. He calls it whirling or overdrive or whatever it might be. It's annoying. But I think if we spend some time just honoring the fact that I have a coping mechanism that is helping me to get through the misery, to get through the hard spot, I think that changes the conversation a little bit.
Well, it's a clue, right? I mean, it's a clue that something's not quite right, which he's able to go, oh, it's a clue.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in his case, he was able to go, some of this is urgent and some of this is important. And I can't get caught up in the urgent part of it, but I'm happy to be part of the important part of it a little bit later.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that is a big piece of the puzzle is if you recognize that coping skill, don't get angry at the coping skill. Get curious about the pain your partner's experiencing. And pause for a second and just say, this could be distracting, this coping skill, right? Like you're drinking, that's really distracting for me. I don't like it when you drink. But if you're able to put that on the shelf long enough to be able to say, honey, I notice something, like what's going on. I'm paying attention and I notice that something's happening for you and I'm leaning in because clearly you are unhappy or you are sad or you're anxious, depressed, but lean into your partner's pain long enough to get curious about it. Don't get distracted by the coping skill.
I think I may have some insight into this, but I might need to tell a story to do that because I'm thinking about, again, how good Rebecca is at this, better than me. But did I tell you this already? I can't remember. We were in Cabo and on Thursday I was super anxious.
Yeah.
I told you that already. And she was like, "What's up with you?" Right. And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, and that's probably what I was like. I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "What's going on?" And I was irritable and I was testy and I was like, and I just said, "I think what's up with me is I haven't taken my meds for a week." And so my coping mechanism, if we're going to call it that, was that I got irritable and testy to protect myself or whatever. And when Rebecca and I surfaced that as, it's kind of out loud, again, I'm sort of thinking through this like in real time.
Yeah.
What she ended up saying was, "Thank you for letting me know." Now I don't have to respond to the irritable and testy or think it's about me or try and defend my stuff because I was getting testy about stuff that was just not important at all.
I actually have seen this coping mechanism of yours.
So I think maybe what we're talking about again is sort of surfacing the making the unconscious conscious, like just making sure that the things that, if you're really clicking as a couple or if you're really clicking as a system, that you have ways to surface and to make it known what is otherwise just sort of underneath. I spent a lot of time with a couple yesterday talking about, it's like, do you hear it? Can you hear yourselves? Like you can see you like trying to get out and then you like lock right back into your muscle memory about, well, you. And what happens if you flip it over and go, well, what's going on? I can see that you're doing this. So now what's going on? Or I wonder what I've done to cause this, or I wonder if I can help in any way versus, well, you did that and that's why I did this. And because Ryan had that opportunity, right? Where you're like, can you do this?
Yes. A number of responses like, leave me alone. You told me. He even walked into the kitchen. And this is why he was like, what's going on here? Because normally I respect boundaries. And he came in and he was like, I'm right in the middle of something. I'm coming out. I've got like 20 minutes. I'm overwhelmed. I just need to sit and chill. Literally what he said. Cause I think I had said, hey, can we like get flights figured out for Europe or something? Right. Yeah. And he pushed back and he said, no, I'm not in the headspace right now to do that. I literally just need to sit on the couch and veg for 20 minutes between calls. And I was like, okay, cool. And I sat there for 15 seconds. And then I started peppering him with all the to-do lists that I needed to him to care about and be involved with. He 100% could have grabbed onto that and made it about him and got angry. But instead he recognized what was going on. And man, one thing that I do really appreciate that he does is that he doesn't make it about me, that my whirling, my micromanaging, I used another word that felt really right. What was it? I don't remember. He calls whirling and he'll ask, he's like, are you whirling? And I really love that there's like this externalizing of this piece of me, that there's not something wrong with me. It's just a mode that I'm in or a state that I'm in, but it's not me. It is a piece of me. And I really love that he called it whirling. So I worked with a couple this week and we were talking about his coping mechanism. And his coping mechanism actually with both of these gentlemen is withdraw. That's their skill. That's what they have in their back pocket. When shit starts hitting the fan, they withdraw. And it is proven time and time again to help to like get them out of that state. But it's not helpful when you are partnered. And so what we started to do was name it. Like, what is this thing that's happening so that when it happens, you can call it out? And sure, they could use the language of withdraw, but that is clinical language. So what is the thing that's happening for you? How do you describe it? Like, are you turtling? Are you going in your turtle shell? Are you like, what's the language that you would use to describe what's going on?
What's the label? What's the metaphor? I'm not
going to use, I know what this one was. And I'll just I'll just describe it. But what would happen is in his family of origin, his dad would whisk him away, would kind of like say, okay, the house is chaotic right now. I'm going to take you out of this environment. And so they would go and do something. And so that's what we latched onto as far as the language goes, of just sort of like, it has a purpose. It had a reason. And this is what's coming up. This is what we call like a trigger. There is not a real life threat happening at this moment, but you are remembering and your body is clicking into something that's old and familiar. And so he's pulling on to this old thing that used to happen when he was a child, and it's occurring in this current day. So that's what we labeled it. And is it almost as a reminder of, this is not a current day threat. This is an old threat. This is an old coping skill. And so we labeled it something from the past. And that, I think, was really helpful for his partner to gain some compassion, some empathy, and some understanding, and even like a little bit of appreciation for this coping skill. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm talking about is, can we just for a second appreciate, even if this coping skill is a pain in the ass to you, can we appreciate that it exists for a reason?
To protect you. It exists to protect you and to keep you from like spinning out or going crazy. And yeah. I think that that's reasonable. And I think that the reality is that those skills, they are clues. They do protect us. And we need to still figure out how to say, okay, but now I need to show up in my best self without sort of creating shame for that coping mechanism, right? Like, if it's a quirky little thing that you have, that's really different than it's a big problem, Yeah.
Well, for me, my coping mechanism, the way that it goes from it's fine, it works for you, Laura, to this is annoying and it's not helpful for your relationship, is when I start to make my husband responsible for starting to knock down the dominoes with me. So I start to spin out and I start to micromanage my life. But then the moment I breach the boundaries of starting to micromanage his life or loop him in and make him responsible, like, I get anxious, and the thing I do is I start cleaning up my environment. And so the fact that the dishwasher, it feels great.
Make my bed. Yeah.
So this is fine. It is fine if Laura Heck needs to wash the dishes, put them in the dishwasher, do loads of laundry. That's fine. When it becomes an issue for my relationship is when I turn to my husband and I say, can you take the garbage out? And it's a right now thing. Can you empty the dishwasher? Right now. Can you go to the DMV and figure out the registration right now? Because that's going to make me feel better. That to me is crossing the line. And that's where my husband can point out, no, like you got to stick with your coping mechanism where it's not coming into play with me. I'm not responsible for you and your anxiety.
Yeah.
Man, I wish that you were firing on all cylinders, because I feel like this is such a good topic and I want to hear more from you.
I do too. I wish I was firing on all cylinders, but it turns out I only have about 45 minutes in me at a time. So,
okay, well, we can go ahead and land this plane. I've been kind of passionate about this. And I think if I have marching orders for the listeners, it's number one, figure out what is your coping skill. What's the tell? How is your partner going to see right through your poker face and figure out that you are in pain? Number two, label it as a couple. What's happening? Externalize it from you. And three, like give it some due honor and grace that it saved you. Yeah.
And I think,
you can go and have a nap before your next interview. I'm going to go ride my bike 3 hours.
Oh,
and
cool.
Hey, the Ironman's coming up in 2 weeks. By the time this airs, I probably will have done the Ironman, and we're going to be on the plane to Germany. I'm planning on being anxious.
Okay. I'm gonna
take a nap.
Yep.
All right, let's land it. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Marriage Therapy Radio. Poor Zach. I hope he gets over his man flu. It's really, or man cold, man something. And it's probably really offensive to the men out there that are like, I'm a great sick human being, but my dear friend Zach is not. But I do want to remind you that we have the Summer Weekly series coming up. It starts July 5th. It's every Wednesday evening from 6 to 7:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So July 5th through August 23rd, this is an amazing way for you to get through the 7 principles for making marriage work. We offer it in a weekend intensive. We also offer it on the weekday. So you can join that series by going to the website. It's marriagetherapyradio.com. On the right-hand side, you'll see weekend intensives and the weekly series registration. It includes all of your workshop materials, and it's, as you're wondering, $425. Thanks for all of your time and attention, making your relationship better today than it was yesterday.